Hi, and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my friend Rebecca Sanborn with us. Good morning, Rebecca. How you doing?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm good. How are you?
I just live in the dream, my friend. So, Rebecca, I asked you to come on the show today to talk about a couple of terms. I think sometimes people get confused, maybe use these terms interchangeably. First one, sexual orientation. What is it? What does it mean?
Sure. So sexual orientation is all about who you're drawn to. It's an individual's inherent physical, romantic, and/or emotional attraction to members of the same gender or members of different genders, including lesbian, gay, bisexual, and straight orientations, or no attraction at all, which is what's known as asexual. And the thing is, everyone has a sexual orientation. If you're straight, that's your sexual orientation, straight or heterosexual.
Now, how about gender identity? How's that different?
Gender identity, so sexual orientation is interpersonal, right? It's who we're drawn to. Gender identity is personal. It's one's deep-seated innermost concept of self as male, female, or a blend of both or neither. And the latter two are generally referred to as non-binary. And increasingly, research is showing that the gender binary of there's just male and just female really isn't accurate. It's not those two rigid boxes. Gender identity is more of a spectrum, and someone can fall anywhere along that spectrum. As with sexual orientation, everyone has a gender identity. Mine, for example, is I'm a woman. And a key concept to keep in mind, someone's gender identity can be different than or the same as the sex they were assigned at birth. So sex assigned at birth is what they write on your birth certificate. It's assigned to you by the doctor, usually based on external physical characteristics. If someone's gender identity that they feel deep inside does not match that sex on their birth certificate, that's generally referred to as the person is transgender. If the gender identity and the sex assigned at birth match, like they do in my case, the person would be cisgender.
All right, last one. How about gender expression?
Gender expression is outward characteristics, appearance, behavior, clothes, how you style your hair, your voice, that communicate a person's gender to society. It's what you can actually see. Gender expression gets a little tricky to talk about because it intersects with societal and cultural stereotypes. So for example, you could have someone whose gender identity is a woman, but the way they dress and kind of present themselves to the world, their gender expression is more masculine. But that raises the question, what is masculine and what is feminine, right? It's sort of defined by society. Many years ago, pants were considered strictly masculine. Now you can go into a women's department at any clothing store and there's racks and racks of pants that you can buy. So it's really those cultural stereotypes change over time. The most important thing for people to keep in mind if they're involved in a business or a nonprofit where they're interacting with the public is that all these three concepts, sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression, are defined by the individual. And it's important to respect how the individual identifies and expresses themselves.
So, Rebecca, people have questions. How can they reach out? How can they learn more?
Well, I am always happy to talk with people. They can reach me on my website, which is www.sanbornsolutionsllc.com, or they can pick up the phone and give me a call at 603-434-0068.
Rebecca, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for being my friend, Kevin. Thanks for having me.